Hello, gorgeous. All right, so today we're going to be exploring what blockage is in the way that you're not really aware of. So we're asking your spirit team to step in and to help uncover whatever has been blocking you or limiting your potential and your soul mission. So we've got three piles. We've got the lamp, we've got joy, and we've got jack-o'-lantern. And I am very curious to hear which pile you chose and why, and what resonates with you, because there are some very interesting things going on for a lot of you that, let's just say I am very excited to hear. I won't say anything else because I don't want to give it away. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Good luck picking. Bye now. Hey, number one. All right, so what is this hidden blockage that you are exploring? So let's take a look at this. There is, and here's what I'm guessing. There may be an addiction, a tie, especially to a person for a lot of you, an energy cord, and ruminating over a past situation that you're really struggling letting go of fully. And even if you've come a long way, be open to looking for that little tentacle of energy that, still may be present, that is keeping things from moving forward. There's a need to put this to bed. It feels like for a lot of you, this will be a connection. This could be someone who's passed. This can be unresolved business or lingering hurt from a relationship. This person could be past as well. There is a need to remind you that the transition that you're but the transition that wants to evolve, it's a natural thing. It's not something you have to do. But this connection to the past, it can be resentment, anger, feeling that something wasn't fair. There's this tie. I'm seeing like an anchor down into the ground. There is an anchor. But the nice thing is this anchor probably could be pulled up with your hand. It's not like I'm seeing some overwhelming sort of size or weight to this. So I want you to really think deep this week of where am I still thinking about this person? Thinking about the situation, if it's a situation. How often is it coming up? What are my emotions around it? Are they truly neutral? Because if, most likely this situation, if it was fully put to bed, you probably just wouldn't think about it anymore. It just wouldn't pop into your mind. So we want to look for these tentacles that are keeping you from moving forward. It's like there's this progression. Life is wanting to create these opportunities. And I want to say miracles to align to help you move forward. But it's struggling to do that because this anchor is still in your past. This could be 10 to 12 years ago, 10 to 12 months ago. And especially when they had me pull this oracle card, and of course we're in our October theme, but the lamp is indicative of somebody putting the light out for a spirit or something, especially a spirit, to let them know they haven't forgotten about them, to honor the dead, to honor what has passed. Now, the thing about that is, it is a positive honoring. So this is an encouragement of, let's say somebody did transition, someone left your life in some way, or a relationship broke up, or a whole combination of loss. Where is it still a negative? because it's lovely to have. I mean, my gosh, I've got plenty of people who've made their departure from Earth or left my life, and they're still human, they're still hanging out. But I love, I'm thinking about several of them right now as I pause. I love them so much, even if I never see them again in this life. But it took a while to get there with some of them. And boy, have I lived through when I've had these weird tentacles. It really can stall. I mean, you've got the death card and the wheel card, and the wheel card is stuck. Your death card is in the advice position, and it is that death and rebirth. It's that, caterpillar turning into a slop of goo and then coming out this miraculous, gorgeous creature. There is this rebirth, this transformation that is wanting to take place. And you've got some heavy hitters anchored right there of really, really wanting good, wonderful, new things, opportunities, energy to come into your life, but they are stuck. So really take a look at those lingering chords. You may want to do some meditation. You may want to do some energy clearing. Tapping, I think, is a really great, simple way. Simple doesn't mean lightweight. Simple can be powerful. Looking into some EFT tapping, if you don't know about that, and think about that painful situation and do some tapping on it. You may find yourself yawning a lot. That's what I do when I do various kinds of energy clearing. So doing some clearing, doing some exercise, like physical exercise, doing some journaling, those kind of things, getting a therapist, a coach, a mentor, reading on subjects that will help you process whatever type of loss or regret. I'm seeing the word regret. So there may be a situation where you really thought it should have gone a certain way, and your mind, those innocent, sweet little childlike parts of us, can have a really hard time letting go of that, and they can ruminate and they can get stuck. It happens to, oh my gosh, I have been through that, and that's just normal. Especially some of us who are more sensitive, it can be even tougher. So this is really exciting. This is important, and amazing things can start taking place. I'm seeing a ball roll. It's not a ball, actually. It's it's like a thick, old looking wooden wheel, and it's rolling. But that thing is it's hundreds of pounds, and it's rolling down a hill, and man, that thing is just picking up speed. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Like when you can untether yourself, and they keep pointing out this tethering it's like a tentacle. It's you've done a lot of work, I'm guessing. So it may just be the last vestiges of that, the last uprooting. So anyway, this is really good. This is it's so hard when I'm feeling all the emotions of what's coming for you, and it's good. Really take very seriously this devil card here, and we want to, especially, it's interesting, they're showing me that I didn't even pay attention to this, but there's this light coming from this, first, second chakra. This does lead me to confirm that this is likely a love relationship, excuse me, of some kind, I'll bet. And it went sideways, or it didn't complete in the way you thought it should, but spiritually it did. So I'm very eager to hear, tell me about this situation. And I'm sure it's very painful, but I'm really excited for you that you're at the phase where they're ready to show you some really beautiful messages about moving forward. And that's not easy, but you absolutely can do that. So huge love to you. And I can't wait to hear what's happening and see you in the next video. Bye now. Hey, group 2. Welcome. So this seems like, in terms of a blockage that you may not be aware of, this feels like a call to reevaluate priorities. Are you working too much? Are you, and actually let me back up with that. Are you thinking about work too much? Because there may be a blockage, basically some kind of stress that For example, if there's something that you've been wanting to get off the ground, something you've been wanting to do, and you've been stressing about this. Maybe you're more in the planning phase. Maybe you're researching. You are doing like that initial kind of background sort of planning. And somehow these goals or these dreams or this longing for something, and this does feel more like a work, career, mission, just life in general, sort of a read that, and if you're looking for, because we're, egos always want to look for love. See if you really were drawn to this, see if you can anchor in and just hang in there to see if there's something here for you. Because ironically, love situations rectify themselves when our deeper challenges and core needs and like our self being balanced, then usually love things start to work themselves out. This feels like that you may be feeling tired. This feels like a call for, are you getting enough sleep? Are you balancing your health? Are you eating well? Because there's some kind of stress that has been happening, and I feel like you haven't gotten a lot of traction. There's definitely sadness here too. Now that could be from relationships or love relationships of some kind carrying over and affecting all of your life, affecting your career. But we want to get out of planning stage. Maybe you've just been stuck. You've just felt like you're in a lull, or you don't even recognize yourself from who you used to be, 8 years ago, 12 years ago. And you're wanting to get back out there, but maybe the fears, the just physical stresses from whatever you've been through. It could be something else. It could be an illness or something that you've dealt with, or some chronic fatigue or something. But whatever this is, we want to get you out of the waiting, the thinking it over, worrying, planning. Planning's great, but we can use anything, even the best things in the world, as a vice. So this is a call for taking action, getting into some habits. Like I'm seeing this like tunk, 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 like that baby step sort of thing, that those words somehow don't apply right now, the energy of that. It's breaking down a plan into very small goals. Even like on your daily to-do list, breaking your task down into 5-minute goals. What part of this big thing I want to accomplish, excuse me, I got all choked up last time too. Very interesting. And that almost never happens to me. There may be a needing to speak up, needing to put your voice out into the world. Maybe part of what you're wanting to create is actually a part of your voice needing to be heard. It could be speaking or teaching or videos like this or writing. Somehow speaking your truth. Taking a sip of my lemon water. So it's all kind of mushed up of we need to remind ourselves, we all need this reminder, your physical self and your spiritual self and your belief system, we want to make sure that those are put first. And it's very hard to remember that in this culture. I need a million reminders too, so that you are anchored in this powerful place. You've got temperance. That's balance. That's spiritual and human balance to me in this situation, especially with all the other cards supporting this. We want to take a look at this sadness, I feel this, I'm seeing the word worries. So I'm the feeling I'm getting when I'm in your energy is like in my head a lot, but just feeling kind of low, feeling like you don't know if you have the oomph to keep pushing through. And whatever you are trying to do, it's kind of exhausting maybe. So what we want, it's so fascinating that you've got the Five of Cups right beside the Joy card. I mean, like, that's kind of ironic. That Joy card is to really take a look at, are you planning and focusing your thoughts on work, money? This could be money related too, because you've got some Pentacle cards here that we're going from the worrying about it to actually taking steps forward. That could be I'm never going to get out of this rut, feeling kind of defeated, versus getting your resume put together, going and talking to your friends about, do they know of any openings, or getting some support on creating a new project or a business. We want you in action, because if we can get you into action. And I'm seeing that dang wheel again. And was that I think that was in that was in group 1. So there may be a bit of a carryover, but maybe it's like kind of if you can resolve what was the healing, the deep, painful heart healing that was trying to find the words, that they were really encouraging that group to do, that maybe then this is the next step of how that morphs out into real life. Not that love isn't real life, but those tangible kind of business, work, those kind of things, physical body. There is an opportunity to really ignite a whole new spark, to get your joy back, to get your life force back. So we want you, like, here's my experience in life. I will hear kind of the sort of the devil's advocate of, what you're probably thinking, what a lot of people's minds might be thinking, as well as listening to my guides, as well as getting downloads. So I'm usually trying to, if I had like 4 mouths, then that would be perfect. But alas, I have not figured that out. So sorry about that. Group number 2, my honey came home a little bit early. So that interrupted me a little bit. But I think that was divine intervention, because I was told and shown some things in the last couple minutes that may really resonate for some of you. So let me reset myself. What they're showing me, and I'm getting that tightness in my throat again the minute I started this. And I have been drinking water. Okay. That leads me to a few things. All right. So actually, I'm going to start there because of the throat. I noticed that this 8 of Pentacles woman is sitting on a book. You could literally be sitting on a book. I shouldn't say literally, but you're not writing a book that you want to write. And books also are words, so you may not be speaking up. Yeah, my throat's tightening up again. Lordy, okay. Taking a sip. I may have to take another break and go grab some more liquid. So I want you thinking about, it may just be speaking up to people, or being more social, or putting yourself out there more. But I feel like there's something about speaking. Your words are important in some respect, and I feel like you'll know what that means. But I also noticed that the 7 of Pentacles, she looks to me upside down like the Black Swan character. Gosh, what the heck is her name, that actress? But that was, and then I'm also noticing she's got red shoes, red ballet shoes. I don't know if any of you have heard it's like, I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, or I don't know if that's really the correct term, but an old lore that talks about, if I'm correct, a girl who puts on these red shoes. She's so enamored by them, and she starts to dance, and the shoes take her dancing everywhere, and she dances through the world, but the shoes won't stop. And she's kind of like bloodied and beaten and just weathered, and the shoes will not stop dancing. Sorry, I think I shook the camera. And then I think, if I remember correctly, the Black Swan movie had a sort of similar frenzy, intensity, obsession. So it may be really to take a look at that, because I noticed that one's upside down and we're going from the 7 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles, where it's getting into action. And this is the funny part. You have to leave a comment and tell me what the heck this is that you're working on, because this is quite funny. But when I stopped the camera and I came back, I heard them saying to light a fire under your butt. And then I looked down and I noticed the 9 of Wands literally looks like she has a fire coming out of her bum. And right underneath it is the Ace of Wands. That is the biggest lighting a fire under one's bum you can get in a card. So you're needing to get your fire back. And the 5 of Cups was at the bottom of the deck. You have probably been grieving. Man, what in the heck is going on with this throat chakra for you guys? I noticed this in 1 or 2 other videos, and I don't ever notice this in the rest of my life. Ever. I don't get choked up like this. I have to pee my pants a lot. I'm drinking so much. Okay, so this 5 of Cups, which leads me to think that some of you really are anchored into group number 1. That is where some of this challenge lies that you are working through and letting go of these old tentacles. So I would probably encourage you, if you have the time, to go check that out and see if it resonates. Lord. Okay. But as you are moving through this, we need to get your body back on track, in whack. What's the term? What was the words that they're trying to put through? Back in check and out of whack. Thank you. Sleep. I have heard this several times, and that was one of the first things I heard was make sure you are sleeping regularly. I really struggle with this myself, so I definitely need this advice. Your body, your health, are you eating plenty of greens? Are you getting your sleep? Are you drinking really nice clean water? Make sure that you are doing those foundational things and moving your body to help flesh out this painful transition you're coming out of, whatever that might be. And we want to take a look at how, I feel like as you're coming back online in your life and starting to revisit career topics, mission, your work in the world, that, gosh, so sorry, that we want to look at where there could be obsession, overworking. This whole culture prizes career over human connection and joy. And the fact that you're ending again on this joy card, this is about being in the present moment. They literally say in the card description, you schedule your dentist appointments. Why aren't you scheduling pleasure? And again, I can hear that devil's advocate. I can kind of hear you talking like, listen, if you knew my life, if you knew my schedule, if you knew all the things that I need to get going, if you knew my financial situation, you wouldn't be making light of that. I'm definitely not making light of that. But why do I keep saying the word ironic today? And I rarely ever say that word. I'll say it again, and maybe I'm misusing it, but it's ironic that the more we grind and the more we push and the more the old subconscious parts of our brain tell us, if we can just get more money, or if we can just get this project going, then we will feel better. You will chase it forever, like those freaking red shoes, or like the Black Swan girl. I can't remember what happened to her, but I don't think it was probably good. So we want to get you prioritizing your life force, your joy, doing things from a joy perspective because you love the process of doing it, not driving yourself to get somewhere. Because if you've abused yourself to get to a certain place or achieve something, you will have just trained yourself to be a self-abuser, and that will carry on. You will not find the joy you think you are seeking. And again, we all need that reminder. So I'm seeing 1, 2. So I do have a feeling we're doing what happened the last video, that we're doing this transition from, this is even a richer, deeper, it's not just a reiteration, it is really an up-leveling. This is a phase 2 of what happened in card group number 1. And maybe you're needing to see that. You're needing to refocus yourself on your work, your passions, where maybe you've been focused on something that you've lost or a person you've lost. This is to inspire you to start thinking and looking at these patterns that you bring to your work, and getting excited about doing. I'm seeing a plan laid out, literally something being laid out. So it's laying out a new way of doing things that is filled with passion. They're really highlighting that 9 of Wands, Ace of Wands, and that light under your butt. We want you to be that temperance woman where she really has everything. She's not striving and reaching for anything. She already is that. And then from there, she turns into that joy card. She just expresses creativity and joy and passion in everything, from a phone call to a project. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And I hope it didn't drive you crazy with my throat. We'll see if that happens in group number 3. And definitely leave a comment and tell me what you are working on. Did one also resonate? Does this sound like your big epic story playing out? I'm very eager to know, but it's very good. We got to light that fire. We got to get you back into that joy, and, maybe zoom in and take a screenshot of that joy card and make that your screensaver this week. And I will see you on the next one. I'm so excited for you. Good luck now. Hey, group number 3. I've had to start this over twice because I keep sneezing uncontrollably. And then the previous 2 piles, I kept getting choked up. So we're going to see if that happens again, because I never have that happen in normal life. So we'll see if you're a continuation of some of these energies. You have a very interesting, I feel like there's something very deep going on. A deep kind of healing and introspection, an understanding of patterns that you've had that obviously aren't working for you now as an adult. It's interesting, when I saw that King of Swords, I thought, oh, well, maybe there's someone in your life that's a little out of whack. And I had the thought, I wonder if this is something connected to an actual relationship. They said, no, it's not that if you have a relationship, this doesn't apply to you, or if you're not thinking about that, it doesn't apply to you. But they said those kings are not someone else. They're an aspect of yourself. So we've got King of Swords and King of Cups upside down. And you've got this 6 of Cups in this, I'm using some of my Halloween, I've got a bunch of Halloween themed decks. So of course, some of them are going to be a little darker than others. But the fact we've got this young girl all alone in an alley, it's dark, and she's looking down. There's something, and it's in this row with this 7 of Pentacles, which looks like, as I'd mentioned in pile number 2, the Black Swan character. And wasn't she like super obsessed, fixated on, I guess it was career and relationships. Maybe that's where the King of Swords and the King of Cups comes in, because they could be more linked to the heady imbalances and the love emotion imbalances. And, we all can relate to that if we're honest with ourselves. So here we have this character that's kind of being clutched by her shadows, and it's creating her, from the 7 of Pentacles, creating this Black Swan, sort of moving her away from her soul core nature. And I think most of us know what that, when we get obsessed, or when we get really sad, or when we get up in our head, or we get ruminating too much, or angry. And then those red shoes, as I mentioned in pile number 2, If you watch that, sorry if I'm repeating myself, but there's a story, if I'm correct, I heard it when I was in my 20s, and I think it's an old tale, and these red shoes captivated this little girl. So again, probably childhood stuff. And she wanted these red shoes. She wanted to dance so badly. And these shoes came to her and she put them on, and the shoes allowed her to dance. And she danced. She danced like she had never danced before. And the shoes spun her through her house and through her town and through her country and around the world. And she danced and danced until she was just wiped out. And the shoes kept dancing and dancing and dancing. And I can't remember what happened to her in the end, but we can all imagine it probably wasn't great. And so those imbalances can kind of spin us and take us away from this sweet little child that was the one who, to protect yourself, you created these coping mechanisms. But then they spin and spin and spin, and we get further and further away from that beautiful light, that core innocent nature that we all have. So you may be feeling like you're having lousy thoughts. Nothing's lousy, but like thoughts that don't make you feel good, and thoughts that almost wreak more havoc. And you may have emotions that, feel maybe all over the place, or angry and sad, and whatever your flavor might be. They really stressed this star, and it was at the bottom of the deck, that it's, and I don't always see that as the pinnacle. I literally moved cards around to put the star there, because the star is what's wanting to take place, is looking at these ways of, sorry, that draw my attention to a couple of the cards. Yet look for patterns. I hate when they do this, and it happens all the time, where they show me a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and I'm like, yeah, I only have one mouth, so let's see how that goes. Okay, so let me kind of slow down and just kind of go card by card. The Two of Pentacles was interesting, because actually it was funny. They showed me the Page of Swords at the beginning, and I thought, well, it's going to come out in the reading. I know this. And it did, just popped out at the end. The Two of Pentacles came out earlier, and I wasn't going to use it, and it popped out again. It wanted to be seen. And a few of the others, now I can't remember. But we've got this Two of Pentacles, but when I really looked at the details, it's an image of Cinderella. And Cinderella after the ball, because she looks a little bit, I think she's carrying a clock. There's that running out of time. And this feels like a reminder, because that card insisted to come out, of, and then it's upside down. It's, when we get lost in these painful cycles, and all of us do, just most people aren't brave enough to hang out and have a conversation about it like you and I are. That mind can get so caught up and lost in its stuff that it forgets that we have a very limited time incarnated in these bodies that we have right now. It's a short run in a lot of ways. And it feels like a gentle, it's like this loving angel grabbing your shoulders going, let's take a look at this now. Because it is so easy. I have been there. Where I'd been stuck with something for like 10 years. And I'm not talking childhood stuff. Those take a long time to work out, but just like, an adult kind of situation that really plagued me. So again, there's no shame in any of this. This is just the human psyche that we're having to all figure out and deal with, which is a lot. But it feels like this reminder of, don't do what you can to adjust these things. Hold on. It's the day of distraction. So sorry, my honey came back in and he distracted me in one of the last spells too. So my apologies. Let's see. Okay, so let me come back to where, let's see if I can pick up where I was. The thing that I'm looking at right now that I'm being really drawn to is this bottom row. And I think because of the healing that is probably, it's probably been happening for quite a while. You may have been in this journey for a while. So don't think that this means you haven't done important steps in this process. There's just more to go to complete this. And we're always in that kind of cycle with something. But you've got this Two of Wands, and I think of that card as the initial start of something new. Sorry, there's a laundry buzzer going off. We've got, oh, it's so annoying. It is distraction central. So you got this Two of Wands where it's a setting out on in a new direction. It's setting your sights on something, and something new, something good, something out on the horizon. But there's some kind of block because of these things up in the conscious mind, these patterns that have hooked you, whether small or big. It's preventing that transformation, that Death card, which is a positive, beautiful card. It is going from, like the little inchworm into, or do inchworms turn into butterflies? The caterpillar into a butterfly. It's this utterly unrecognizable transition. It is a mega up-leveling, and it's no joke. It's a major arcana, but there's something about it being blocked, and it's not allowing spirit messages to come through. It's not allowing you especially to put your voice out into the world. There's a theme, I believe that was in another pile as well, about the voice. So it may be that you're not speaking up, you're not writing. Maybe you're wanting to start a blog. You could do an anonymous one. You could, there's something about putting your voice out there, but it's not going out there. You're not getting the downloads. You're not sharing your messages. I think of Page of Swords as being, it can be spirit messages to me. It can be writing. It can be speaking. And there's something where you have hooked onto the edge of, or maybe far more, you really have a sense of this thing you're wanting to either become or to experience or to create. And this healing that you're seeing in your life, it as you heal that, it's going to get you back into the present moment. And it's interesting, that present moment thing choked me up again, where we've got this Cinderella character that's blocked, where it's kind of like la 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 la, putting your hands over your eyes and sticking your fingers in your ears to not look at the reality of what's going on, and letting time slip by, because it feels like the universe is so on your side right now to support you in taking some steps to make some really exciting things happen. And so it feels like keep going. There's such I can feel that you are aware of, I know this is a reading for what you're not aware of, the blocks, but I feel like you do have a sense that some of these things are challenges. And again, I want you to keep your sights on the star card. Look up the star card, make it your, I said this to another group, but make it your screensaver. Find any deck and find the star card. There's such an energy of healing, of finding your true north, of really allowing emotions to flow and not get, that top row are just blocked emotions, blocked parts of you that haven't been allowed to speak, that haven't been allowed to get out. That could be what that Page of Swords is. It's just not able to, maybe you were shut down as a kid or made fun of, or people didn't listen. And that throat chakra is, now I'm starting to piece this together. That throat chakra is being kind of bound up. And the woman is pouring out emotions, pouring out water, but she's fine with it. She knows it's just energy. It's not a big deal. The thoughts that come with those emotions aren't true. She flows with them, but she's also got this bird that's, the wing is touching her other hand, the one that's not pouring the water. Maybe hard to see if there's glare. But I think of that bird as a spirit messenger. And so as you're able to flow with your emotions and they don't get jammed in your body, which again, every human being deals with this. It's not just your problem. It's every single person who's ever existed. It will allow for your intuition and for spirit to guide you and get you onto that like North Star, that soul purpose. And that soul purpose just means you being fully present without the baggage and the blockages to just be. And whatever you create from that, great. And it's interesting that the jack-o'-lantern came up, and I've actually never had that card show up, and I had to read the description, but it talks about, it feels like it literally says protection, but it's a card that symbolizes that you are on the right path, that they're setting out. Initially they put jack-o'-lanterns out to try to scare away evil spirits, they believed at the time, but also to light your way so you could see where you're walking. So this feels like I don't even really know, I don't use the word talisman, but I feel inclined to say this talisman, this supportive energy. Maybe it's a supportive time in your life where your guides are really on overdrive it's like your way is being lit. If you can just keep doing your part, spirit is more than willing to step in to light the way, to guide you. It's interesting, I'm noticing the star with that light and then jack-o'-lantern with that light. It's these guiding lights that then you're going to be able to see that. And if we go back to that Six of Cups, the girl has a light over her head. When we're young, that light we're conscious of it, and then it gets dimmed for all of us. And so you're on the right track with what you're sensing, and see if you can just keep going. Again, it's just week by week, step by step. Little things are not little, they are very big in terms of your growth. And you'll look back in 2 years and think, wow, I just thought I was taking little baby steps, but now I can't recognize myself. Like that whole time that was so painful is over. And look at me, I'm this star card. I'm in my alignment with my soul. It doesn't get a lot better than that. And you'll feel like then the time you have in this incarnation on this planet will be so much more rich and meaningful. And you won't feel like you're waking up from a bad dream going, oh, I just lost the last 15 years of my life or whatever. So this is really good. There is so much support here. And I know it's not comfortable and it can be challenging, but you are absolutely more than up for the task. And I hope you will share what you're up to if you want to. It may be things that you'd rather keep private, but just know that there's support for you, and it's really positive and it's very strong. So I hope that helps. Please let me know if there's anything you want to add, or if there's any other card ideas that you would really like me to address, and I'm happy to consider that. All right, so much love to you. Have an amazing week. Bye now.